going to be a great week, as we said so, right? It's going to be a great week because we said so. In fact, I want you to set an intention for yourself this week. Let's set an intention for ourselves this week. So what's something you're working on, or what's something that's there for you? What's the intention for this week for you? And let's carry that intention forward throughout the entire week, not just one day at a time, okay? So here's the thought for the day, because I'm continuing on this little thought train, because I've just been thinking so much about it over the weekend. And then I'm going to give you some really, really profound journaling prompts that you're going to do this week as well, okay? These are journaling prompts that I do myself, by the way. So I'm giving you the things that I do myself that are really profound in terms of getting clear, just clearing any of the consistent debris that shows up, so to speak. The debris, I like that one, where it's just like sloughing off the debris consistently, and just things that I intuitively feel like will serve you guys. So here's the thought for the day. When you take things personally, you are being obedient to someone else. When you take things personally, you're being obedient to someone else. So in one of my favorite books called The Four Agreements by Don I'll find his name. It's a book written a long time ago, but it's basically a lot about what we're talking about. He has an agreement called don't take things personally. And we did a whole workshop on taking things personally. And we talked about how we take things personally because we need other people to verify our existence. And as children, this is a really important conversation, by the way. You can't hear this enough, because you think you're not doing this consciously, but you're all doing it on some level. You're still taking things personally. If I were a betting woman and I had to bet all the money that I have in my bank account, I would bet every last dollar that on some level, you're still taking things personally. You're taking what other people say about you as their opinion, PS, not gospel, not written in scripture, not written somewhere in the heavens. God didn't make a list, but you take what someone says personally, and then it just takes you right off course for however many hours or days. And when we're taking things personally, because we have been programmed prior to the age of 7 to take what our parents say as being the authority. And if they're the authority, then because their subconscious mind can't reject anything, and we take everything as fact, we take that other people's opinions of us must be fact. And we are never taught that that's actually not true. My opinion of you is my opinion based on my own programming of myself. It's my own projection of myself. And that goes for, listen to this part, it's really important. That goes for both negative comments and positive comments. So it's not just the negative stuff, ladies. If I'm like, Sarah, you're amazing. Oh my God, Sarah, you're the fucking cat's pajamas, right? That's you still taking what I'm saying as fact, and I then become the authority over you in that moment. I have the power over you. So the question becomes this: why do you need other people to validate you still? Because both the positive and the negative is still someone else. It's allowing someone else to have authority over you. And actually, the minute the person has the authority over you, they are controlling you and can manipulate you. Have you never been in a situation where you keep people around because they say only nice things about you? So I want you to really take on these journaling prompts that I'm going to give you here in a few moments really seriously, because if you can come from radical self-honesty, radical responsibility, no judgment, no shame, no, I'm a bad person for still feeling this way, none of that shit's not real, that shit's the lie. But if you can come from another level of radical self-honesty, because every level is going to kick up new things, guys. And if you think you've got it all figured out, you're sadly mistaken. There is no getting it all figured out. It ain't over until it's over. You no longer have a pulse. And then I don't know what happens. When I get there, I'll let you know. Okay. But the point is this is about having humility in the process to say, okay, where am I still not obedient to my vision? Where do I have someone else's the authority? Where am I still taking things personally? And that means I'm obedient to someone else. Someone else has their opinion of me has the power over me to change my course of action for the day, or to like get me off course, both positive and negative. Why do I need other people's positive validation? So this is the question, the first question you want to journal on. Why do I need validation for how good I am? Why do I need someone else to tell me I'm a good person? Why don't I believe that to be true myself? Well, the underlying reason is this. This is what I want you to think about. It's because, and again, this is not taking anything personally, right? Like we all do this. I do this too. It's all of us do it on some level. I might do it at a different level at this point than I did 6 years ago, 5 years ago, but we all still do it. It's because I'm insecure and don't feel that way about myself. There's instability there in my self-image. If I need Leah to tell me I'm amazing, why don't I think I'm amazing? But what if Leah the next day turns around and says, actually, you're an asshole? Am I going to then believe that I'm an asshole? Yes, that's what you guys do. Someone says you're amazing, or the next day you're an asshole. You're good at this, you're not good at this. Like, that's where you guys are doing this. Like, it's like boom, 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 boom. And then you wonder why you cannot achieve the thing that you're looking at, because you're getting sideswiped. Even if it's micro shifts throughout the day, you're letting people's opinions of you take you off course. It's why you don't post things on social media. It's why you don't put out the thing you want to do. It's why you don't tell someone you love them. It's why you've got friction in certain relationships. It's whatever that is. It's because underlying is there's some instability inside of you where you're still looking for someone to validate that you're a good person. The job over here now at this level is to decide for yourself, I know I'm a good person. You're all good people. So this is important because we don't want to have anyone else as the authority in our mind. We don't want to have someone's opinions of us dictate what we do or don't do. Okay, so this is about writing your own story. This is about like writing out the story of what's true for you now. So that's part of your homework, is write your own story. And what you want to look at is what lies am I still believing in? What lies am I still believing in? So this could be like a lie that you were told when you were 7, or it could be a lie that you were told a few weeks ago. What lies am I still believing in? And so the key is to rewrite the story so that you no longer believe the lies. The story is in present tense, affirmative. I am incredibly gifted at this. I am da 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 da. And P.S., this could include where you have work to do, because we always want to be honest. I have more work to do in becoming more patient. Great. I have work to do in developing some skills for my business. Amazing. But you get to rewrite the story from a place of radical self-honesty, not because your mother told you you're never going to make anything in your life, or you're never going to become something, or because your parents struggled and you think that it always has to be hard. Does this make sense? Coming from radical self-honesty is not just saying unicorns and rainbows, like everything's amazing. It's actually saying, okay, like I have work to do with surrender. I have work to do with patience. I'm working on developing my skills and my trade so that I can be the best at what I do. Whatever that may look like for you. Make sense? Okay, so here's some other journal prompts that I want you to take on this week. You don't have to do them all today. You can, whatever floats your boat, but here's what I want you to do this week. Is there anyone in your life you still haven't forgiven? Is there anyone in your life you still haven't forgiven? If the answer is yes, write them a letter and just forgive them. Choose to forgive. Write them a letter. In the letter, you can say the way that you felt that they hurt you and whatever. But at the end of the day, at the end of the letter, you've decided to forgive and let go. Remember, to forgive is to totally abandon and to let go. It doesn't mean what the person did is right or wrong. You're not the judge and jury. You're just saying, I decide to release that energetic connection I have with you because I'm worthy of more now. That's a powering context for forgiveness. I don't want to carry around that energy anymore. Make sense? Okay. Question 2, that's first journal prompt. So is anyone I haven't forgiven yet, and then write them a letter. Number 2, what's your biggest fear? What's your greatest fear? What's your greatest fear? Now, this one is where you don't just answer the first, like, this is not something to be done in 5 minutes. I want you to really sit with this. What is my greatest fear? Like, really sit with it. Okay? You're not going to figure it out in this moment, but just that's why I want you to really sit with, what is my absolute greatest fear, and be totally honest. You're not telling anyone this. You're writing it for yourself. Question 3. Do I fight, flight, or freeze in the face of conflict? Do I fight, flight, or freeze? So that's like the amygdala response was just as fight, flight, or freeze. So do I fight? Do I flee? Like, do I get the hell out of there? Or do I freeze in the face of conflict? Number 4, I think, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 4. What are your coping mechanisms when life gets tough? What are your coping mechanisms when life gets tough? This is a good one. Okay. And then the last question, how do I want to show up in my relationships? How do I want to be perceived? How do I want to show up in my relationships, and how do I want to be perceived? So I want you to work through that this week or today. And really just like, again, right, we're clearing off the debris, anything else that's still there, getting really present to the fear. Why? Because when you take things personally, it's because you're actually afraid of something. And it's always linked to your greatest fear. And when you really get that, that's all part of the paradigm in the limbic system, is to get you to stop doing what you're doing. You just have more clarity and more awareness. Because what's the greatest thing that I keep coming back to over like these months and months that we've been doing this? What's the thing that I help you guys get to every day? Clarity. That's my superpower, getting people clear. Clarity. Most people are walking around confused. Confusion is a racket. Confusion is your mind, subconscious mind taking over. I don't know what I should be doing, bouncing from one idea to another. My thing is always clarity. When you can get clear on what you want, where you're going, what your fears are, all the things that could possibly get in the way, and you're just like going for it forward and getting super clear every step of the way, that's where you're going to have massive results. But we can't allow other people's opinions of us, or their opinions of the world, or whatever, to be the authority in our life, because we are not obedient to the vision if we're doing that. So work through these prompts, rewrite your story, forget about the lies, rewrite at this point what gets to be true for you. And if you feel like sharing that in your group chat, great, but here's the format I want you to share it, please, if you're going to share it. I don't want the backstory. I don't want you to go on your own riff and tangent. I want you to answer the questions exactly as written with your answer. So you could say, my greatest fear is this. I freeze during conflict. When my coping mechanism when life gets tough is. So respond in the format that the question is given. Okay. If you'd like to do that. I think it can be very powerful to see, number one, how much you're all very similar, and whenever we do these exercises, but just to clear it from your psyche, to just dump it out of your head is very powerful. Okay. So thought for the day again, when you take things personally, you're being obedient to someone else, and then therefore they have power over you, both positive and negative. So this can happen so much in personal relationships and intimate relationships. We look so much for approval from other people. Can we start to get that approval from ourselves? This is part of kind of like piggybacking on the conversation of meeting your own needs. This is like meeting your own need and saying, hey, look, we're not perfect people. We're perfectly imperfect. But at the core, do you believe you're a good person? At the core, do you believe you're worthy? At the core, do you believe that you can make mistakes and still be worthy? At the core, do you believe that you don't need to be perfect to get love? Like at the core, do you love yourself? Because if at the core you love yourself and you respect yourself and you have integrity with yourself and you can trust yourself, then what other people think of you has nothing to do with you and is none of your business, quite honestly. And you should stop trying to seek approval from other people, because that gives the power over to the person that's giving you that validation. Okay? Okay, cool. I would rewatch this lesson a few times for some of you. And I would do this homework this week, and I would love to hear what opens up from it. Okay, ladies, love you guys. Bye. Have a great day.